Thanks, Sawyer. Well, you've been scrolling through TikTok, going to Trader Joe's, and shopping at Urban Outfitters. A serious conflict in the Middle East has arisen. As a few of you have probably noticed over the past few days, Afghanistan has been an area of hostility and conflict as the Taliban has taken over the Afghan government once again. Let's dive deeper into what the Taliban actually is, where this regime started, and what that means for not only the people living in Afghanistan, but the United States going forward as well.
Good morning, Pioneers. Thank you so much for tuning into the first national news show of the 2021-22 school year. My name is Sawyer Brisson, and today we are going to dive deeper into some national news that has swept the nation over the past few days.
I'm Ryan Hess, and thanks for tuning in. While we love national news here at The Juice, we also love celebrity and pop culture news as well. To kick us off with a new trend that has been moving across the nation is called crate climbing. The basic idea of this is to stack rows of crates into different heights and climb them as quickly as possible before they fall down. There have been many people posting videos of themselves on Instagram and TikTok attempting to climb up and down the crates without falling, but many do not succeed.
On August 14th, the Los Angeles Rams and Chargers preseason game took place. During the game, there was a huge brawl that broke out, but it's not the first of its kind. There have been many of these kinds of fights happening at different sporting events. On August 21st, there was another fight during the Steelers vs. Lions game, coming very close to injuries.
You're right, Sawyer. One of the biggest issues that brings is security. Is there enough? Where and when will fights break out? And what can we do in the future to prevent these from happening? All we can say is that it's childish to be happening in the first place.
Let's talk Kanye and Drake. Kanye and Drake are both talking about dropping their new albums, especially Kanye, as social media is going wild about his album that was supposed to release 2 years ago called Donda. The ongoing feud between Kanye and Drake has been reignited and has escalated quickly. The war of words began on Friday when Trippie Redd released his album Trip at Night, which features a collaboration with Drake called Betrayal. After the song was released, Kanye tweeted a screenshot of a clown picture that was a reference to Drake's part of the song. The 12-year beef has been started once again.
Now to get back into some national news, California continued its burn. Scientists say it's time to rethink forest management. For a majority of people who live in California, forest fires are nothing new, but Cali Governor Gavin Newsom says it's time to seriously take action. His first action, to bring awareness to the fact that these fires are some of the most biggest, dangerous, and deadliest in history. But according to it, Governor Newsom is not the first to blame climate. The most deadly fire to see California was in 2018, and this fire was started by a campfire.
Speaking of natural disasters, tidal wave of floodwaters overtook Tennesseans in minutes and killed 21, including 7-month-old twins. The news broke 2 days ago and is worsening by the hour. Hopefully things will get cleaned up soon and we will keep them in our thoughts.
In some very fun COVID news, the White House alongside Dr. Anthony Fauci is recommending that after 8 months of having the second dose of the shot, you should go and get a booster shot. This shot is the same as the first and second. Healthcare, teachers, and senior citizens, and so on and so forth.
Speaking of COVID, Superintendent Mark Rafe has now gone ahead and made masks mandatory for anyone in elementary and middle school. This is, of course, following CDC guidelines for anyone who isn't vaccinated yet should wear one.
And something very exciting, the FDA has full approval for the Pfizer vaccine for anyone 16 and older. And following that, yesterday, Trump asked a crowd of people to get vaccinated. He said that he has, and it works. Even though that his announcement was followed by a round of boos, the message of the vaccination was still clear.
Proud Boys leader Henry Theriot is sentenced to more than 5 months in prison for burning Black Lives Matter banner. Known to followers as Enrique admitted that he burned a Black Lives Matter banner taken from historic black church during a pro-Trump demonstration in December. The Proud Boys and other groups marched in a raucous rally through downtown. The banner was stolen from Asbury United Methodist Church, one of the oldest black churches in Washington. Now, on to news in the Middle East. Let's throw it over to Abby to tell us more.
Thanks, Sawyer. Well, you've been scrolling through TikTok, going to Trader Joe's, and shopping at Urban Outfitters. A serious conflict in the Middle East has arisen. As a few of you have probably noticed over the past few days, Afghanistan has been an area of hostility and conflict as the Taliban has taken over the Afghan government once again. Let's dive deeper into what the Taliban actually is, where this regime started, and what that means for not only the people living in Afghanistan, but the United States going forward as well. The Taliban arose in 1994 amid the turmoil that followed the withdrawal of Soviet forces from Afghanistan in 1989. The group is rooted in rural areas and since then has grown tremendously. According to the New York Times, the Taliban is an Islamic religious political group and military organization in Afghanistan, regarded by multiple governments and organizations as terrorists. To clear the rumors, it's not the Taliban's first rodeo in taking over Afghanistan. 5 years prior to when we invaded in 2001 following 9/11, they were in power. So they're not totally clueless in the terroristic rule department. But the Taliban was not really a force we thought we would ever have back. The original plan we put into place after 9/11 was to take down al-Qaeda, but the plan quickly changed. It turned into multiple missions since then, but to end it off most recently, the United States fought to change the form of government in the Middle East, essentially creating a democracy to help things run smoother. But as you're probably now realizing, it didn't work out too well. And as of now, the president that was elected has now fled the country with around $119 million of cash. No, actually. He ran away with millions of dollars of cash that the Americans gave to him to help the people. Now, this may seem like a punch in the face to America, but just wait until you find out that over the 20 years we were in Afghanistan, we trained their people to stand up for the Taliban. And now the Taliban tried to enter, the Afghan people bowed down and gave back control. Like I said, smack in the face. So what does this mean for Afghan people? Well, to be honest, it's not looking too great to say the least. But to understand their pain, we must start at Kabul. Taliban forces entered the capital of Kabul effectively on August 15th, ending a 20-year effort by the US and other Western nations to remodel Afghanistan as a modern democracy. With Afghan government forces losing air cover and plagued by abandonment, the Taliban quickly expanded their footprint before taking the last remaining cities, including Kabul. More and more, Biden's plan to quickly pull troops out is not looking too hot. Amid the quick pullout, important things have been left to the Taliban. And by things, I mean interpreters, guns, and other important military equipment. But in terms of nice Talibans, these ones are definitely up there. Currently, we are doing a non-combat evacuation, and according to Afghanistan, we are allowed to peacefully take our things and get out. But just a side note, we have 20 to 40,000 Afghans that helped us along the way. So what are we doing with them? We can't stay in Afghanistan forever. The United States alone spends around $2.26 trillion on the military. Why? What else can we really accomplish? One of the most recent sparks was about women's rights. In a recent interview, Biden was questioned about something he had said in the past. In 2010, Biden said, quote, "I won't send my boy to risk his life for women's rights." When questioned in a later interview, he said, "There's 1,000 places we could go to deal with injustice. I can think of 10 countries where women and children are being prosecuted and hurt. But the idea of the United States using our armed forces to solve every single internal problem that exists throughout the world is not within our capacity," end quote. And to be totally transparent, I believe many people can agree with that. But the matter of the fact is that this is an issue. But who's going to solve it? It's almost unsolvable. The easiest way to explain why the Taliban is taking over is that they believe they are superior. They think they better represent Afghanistan in a ritualistic, religious way. Not that that's necessarily true, but that's what Afghan people are currently up against. A terrorist organization with United States-grade military equipment versus everyday citizens who just want their lives back. Like all news, I'm sure things will change by the hour. But for now, back to the news desk.
Biden's rating decline among COVID surges, Afghanistan withdrawal, and mixed vaccine opinions, according to an NBC News poll. Things have changed drastically since his last election in November. With many different opinions of him as a person and a leader, his re-election is very unclear.
For now, that's all we have for you today, Pioneers. For The Juice, I'm Sawyer Brisson.
And I'm Ryan S. Stay juicy and have a great day.